Hello, everyone. Make sure we're good to go here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the True Love Collective live stream. Happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. It's great to have everyone here. And we may not have as many people join us today. That's okay. I think it's definitely more important to take care of your mothers, or if you are a mother, to enjoy your day and not spend it all soaked up into the true love story that's going on. But I appreciate every single one of you guys here, who decided to show up and take some time out and to jump on and meet the Soul Fam, meet the community, and to see what's going on in the True Love Warrior Collective. If you're new here, my name is Brandon Tobias. It's an honor to have you here on my channel. And what we do here is we channel for what I call the True Love Collective, and we like to call ourselves the True Love Warriors. And what that means and why it's important is because we channel on a weekly basis the energies collectively that are going on when it comes to love. And what we've realized as a soul tribe, as a community, is that love, as amazing as it is also one of the most painful but also greatest catalysts through the pain to helping you reach and discover and step into your soul purpose. And so it's all playing a part in the greater picture. If we look at it from that perspective, if we choose to step outside of what's happening on an everyday basis inside of our lives and see the greater picture we see every single week, why this is happening and what are the reasons and who ultimately all of us individually are becoming as a soul and on our soul journey and our soul progression in this journey overall. So that's why we're here. And basically, if you're new to me as a light worker, as a channel, basically what I do is I call in the guides, and my gift is the power of speech and the power of truthful, objective speech, as objectively as I can possibly do it. And I've been entrusted to be able to channel for specifically this collective. So we're going to call in the guides, open the ceremony, and just see what's going on here. Now, in terms of a basic format, we are going to start off with a channeled oracle reading. Seems to be definitely something that's been popular and very effective at getting some good messages to this collective. And then after that, we're going to go into a channeled tarot reading. This part is going to, of course, go over the love energies that are going on, anything we need to know, updates on our journey from Spirit and Source, from Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene specifically, who seem to be the leaders of this collective union coming together. And then finally, we're going to finish out with some channeled astrology for the week ahead and some Q&A at the end. Okay? So that's the basic format. We do have a wonderful, amazing, and very proficient moderator. Her name is Yo Alaskan, a.k.a. Sana. She's in the YouTube chat. And Sana, your task, as always, and I appreciate you, by the way, is to collect questions you feel are good, generally, for the collective, that I can answer at the end. So we're going to do a mini Q&A at the end, depending on time and energy. And Sana's going to be busy collecting those questions. And just keep in mind, we're not going to be doing personal love questions at this time. But we are going to be doing questions that are hopefully beneficial, not just for your curiosity, but for the rest of the collective, okay? That way we can make this a useful video. All right, so before we get started, let me just check in with the chat and everyone here. How's everyone feeling? How's everyone doing? Let me know in the chat what's going on. TikTok is here. Hello, TikTok. Happy Mother's Day. We have YouTube here as well. As I suspected, not too many viewers on. We got about 42 viewers on, and that's okay. I kind of figured. I just got back from visiting my mother and giving her some gifts, and I'm going, it's probably, not going to be the most popular live stream today, but that's okay. So I hope everyone's good. Okay, good. Chat's doing well. Looks like you guys can hear me. And let's go ahead and get into it. So remember, if you guys have questions, feel free to type them in the YouTube chat. TikTok, I'm sorry, I won't be able to see them. But Sana will be collecting the ones that she feels are useful. And thank you for that, Sana. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it, yeah? So opening the ceremony now. calling in the collective spirit guides, loved ones, masters, wise ones, angels and archangels, as well as Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene, and Archangel Michael specifically, for this collective. Spirit asking for the ability to channel for the highest good and healing now and in the future for this True Love Collective, specifically through the power of unconditional love. Thank you so much, Spirit, for this ability to channel for whatever we need to know for our highest good and healing at this moment in time. Thank you so much. This ceremony is now officially open. All right. Enough rambling aside. Let's get into it. And we're going to be using the Thoth deck because that's where my hand went first, unconsciously. And you always want to follow the unconscious, I've discovered. See where that goes. Sometimes not the funnest rides, but the ones we need the most. All right. Let's do some shuffling here. Spirit guides, loved ones, masters, wise ones, angels, and archangels. What are the messages we need to know for our highest good, love, and life? Now, my intention here for you guys, it's just gonna be what we need to know right now. All right, now, because energetically, I don't know if you guys can relate, but it's been one heck of a week. I don't even know what to call last week or how to describe it, but I'm pretty sure you guys can feel it as well. But it's felt like kind of a dead end, has been hit in some sorts of ways. Dead ends have been created and hit. And there's nowhere else really to go but up. Kind of what it feels like. So let's see what the guides have. Whatever we need to know for this particular moment. Love and life. There it is. I couldn't think of probably a more appropriate card to describe where we're all at this particular moment, the journey. Okay. The journey. And there's an owl on top of her head, and she's here protecting her heart. This woman here, okay, holding her heart, caring for herself, loving herself, okay. It feels like she has been put through the ringer quite a bit. There's a lot of sadness. There's a lot of sorrow. There's a lot of grief that is happening right now. There is a major shift in consciousness in her, in the situation, and the realization of all that she's been through, all that she's received, all that she's taken. Okay. And taking all of that in and integrating it in to move with that into her next phase of life in the journey. So there's absolutely, on the flip side of this card, a whole new journey popping out of this grief. Coming out of nowhere, right? It's like the hardest, most difficult possible times within the journey, maybe thus far, in her heart, in her soul, that she has succumbed to in some sort of ways, that she's embodied. But because of that, freeing her and opening her up in a big way. You can see the owl on top is spreading his or her wings. It's kind of representative of where she's going now. And the first thing that came out of my mouth was nowhere else to go but up from here. Do you guys feel that? Nowhere else to go from up. So it's like she's been down. Remember, we've been channeling, I will follow you into the darkness. We're going to go into the darkness. We're going to integrate the darkness. Oh, we've gotten dark. we've gone into the darkness. How many of you guys can relate? And now it is very much time to return, okay, back onto the throne of light that she deserves to be sitting on. Okay. Now you can take this as however it resonates. It does feel like the divine feminine journey, though, specifically the divine feminine journey overall right now. We have Beauty Way We have Pachamama. Wow. The first thing I got with this is the energy of support and love. Okay? You have to know just how admired that you are by everyone around you all the time. Like I don't think those of us listening, you may disagree, but what I'm feeling come up here in the channel is I don't think you may know just how amazing you are as a person, as a soul, how beautiful you are, how inspiring you are, how magical you are, especially having volunteered to go through the journey that has been taken here to this extent. So you must know how much of an inspiration, how much applause, how much admiration is currently being given to you, if not in your external world, then in a spiritual, from the spiritual world, from the spiritual realm. But I do feel that this is dual, right? Like you have people who admire you in your life for what you are and what you do. So you must take solace in that. You must. If it's the one thing to take solace from at this moment in time in the journey, it's that. To know just how appreciated, admired, and respected that you are. We have Pachamama, Earth, Magic, and the Sorcerer, and the Smoky Mirror. Because underneath it all, right, it's hard and it's confusing. And there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions and questioning that's going on in the mind and the heart and the soul. The illusion of all of this, right? Tricks being played. Projections happening. People being unsure or confused or disillusioned as to what the real truth is. Only as, and you must know why, only as a challenge to be able to show you, again, just how powerful and how real and how right you are in your soul, in your path, in your journey. The only thing that this illusion here with the smoky mirror showing up is trying to do is reflect back to you so much BS that you finally have enough of it and say, I've had enough of the illusions and the tricks and the disillusionment, and it's time for me to know in my heart and soul who and what I really am. And to believe and know my side of the story. Okay? Which is a hard lesson. It's a hard lesson, particularly if you are an open-hearted and loving person. It is a difficult thing to do, to accept that you may be right. To not look for somewhere inside of yourself to blame yourself for what is happening, what has happened, what is currently going on. It may be difficult for you to actually accept that you are right for being who you are. Because the natural inclination is to find guilt in the self for this collective. Okay? So that's part of the lesson going on right now. Now, Earth is our best friend. Why is Earth our best friend? Because Earth, for the Divine Feminine, is the truth. She will always empower and represent the real truth through the disillusionment in the embodiment of the Divine Feminine. So, the recommendation here is to become very close with and depend upon, utilize the power of Earth itself. I'm literally meaning, right, going out in nature, spending time in nature with Earth to get back into yourself. Because again, there is so much of a fog of disillusionment happening right now that it's easy to lose ourselves within it and not know which way's up, down, left, right, north, south. Okay? So there's an empowerment and a restabilization of your own independent belief and power in yourself and your soul, taking that back through the power of earth. Okay, accepting and embodying that part of your feminine being. Magic and the sorcerer are also here. Okay. So along with this, okay, the other energy of this too, by the way, is the feminine, and this is really all about the feminine, right? This is all being it's like the feminine's going through a tough time. It's just what I'm getting here. So it's about her. It's all about her. It's all about you. Magic and the sorcerer. You are capable of intensely powerful magic. You are capable of intensely powerful channeling, of awareness, of contact, okay, of influence in and throughout the spiritual realm. And this has an effect, an actualized, tangible, real effect on the earth, on your circumstances, on your life. And you have to realize that this is a true and real gift that you have, that you contain, that is going to help you be able to straighten these things out and to be able to help the situation along. If, right, and when we use it in a responsible way, white magic, light magic, for God, for the good of others. Positive polarization. Okay? There's nothing dark. There's a little bit of darkness here in Pachamama, but there's nothing dark about what I'm sensing here energetically in this particular spread. It's light. It's magical. It's free. It's open. Okay, that is the energy that the Divine Feminine wants to step into. So, my point with that is, believe it. It's real. It's an actual thing. You're not crazy. You never were. Okay. The energy of illusion would want to make you believe or think or feel potentially guilty, right? Or in disbelief about your own power and your own ability. But if we are speaking the truth, which we will speak the truth always in this weekly live stream, always, it is very real, it is very tangible, and you are not crazy. It is part of what you needed to go through, what we needed to go through in order to realize just how powerful, just how real we are, and the positive power that we have to wield for our mission of light for this earth. That is why this live stream is referred to, this collective is referred to as the True Love Warrior Collective. That is why I decided to wear red today, because I felt, and the music was a little bit intense, because it really is a time of stepping into the warrior and the strength of that and the confidence of that. Okay, Pachamama is over here to the side. This last card I'll go over on this oracle spread, and this, to me, this just represents chaos. So it really represents the reason why this is all happening is because the energetic ride, okay, that's been going on, as you guys have probably felt, has been very intense and very chaotic, unpredictably chaotic. All right, as we've said for the last few live streams, it's like a storm. All right, it's like a storm that we've been going through, but it feels like the finale, the climax, the epitome of that storm has hit. And that is what has brought us to this very moment in time where we are now being allowed to rise into a new version of ourselves, a new part of ourselves, and a new journey overall, a new chapter. Okay. And it's the way in which you've handled this chaos, by the way. It's the way in which you've been able to handle this chaos that's come in and through your life and your situation in the most honest, authentic, truthful, and real of ways, unconditionally loving of ways that is the mark of, okay, your growth as a human being, as a soul, and your service to self and others. It was almost like we had to be put through the ringer, put through the test, put through the trials here of this chaos and darkness to test, are we going to flip back into, okay, old habits, ways of being, or are we going to stand strong in unconditional love, but our power and the strength of who we are and what we're here to do? So that is why, what is being channeled now for the first time for me too, that is why this all had to happen. It had to happen because it was here to show us now who we are through our reaction and our choice of reaction to the chaos that has come through and into our lives generally, but also through love as well, and the feelings associated with love. So that is the channeled oracle messages for the day. Pretty intense stuff, I would say. All right, so let's jump into the channel tarot love reading. You guys are welcome, by the way. You guys are saying thank you on TikTok here. Wolfgang Mo. I won't be going live with you, but I appreciate the wolf. I have some good friends who are wolves, I would say. The spirit animal wolf. So thank you for that. We got to stick together, guys. Okay. All right. Loved ones, masters, wise ones, angels, and archangels. What are the messages in love and in life for the collective, True Love Collective at this time? The power of Archangel Michael, Jesus Christ, Mary Magdalene. What do we need to know at this particular moment? Yep, they're saying for this moment again. What it's actually, this is going to be more so advice or context, and moving forward from here. That's what they're saying. This reading, the intention for this reading is going to be advice, context, and moving forward from here. What we need to know. Okay, the Magician. Beautiful card. I love the Magician. This is my favorite card. Maybe that's why it popped out. But the Magician. Okay. Most people know it as manifestation. I see it as manifestation, but embodiment of your true self and your true power, and the actualization of that power in reality. In reality. Now is the time, more than ever, to take all of the gifts, the knowledge, the strength, the actualization of what's been formulating underneath it all in your subconscious, and to actualize it moving forward in the future, in the world itself. Now is the time. At this moment in time, there is nothing, okay? From what I'm channeling here, there is nothing, or there will be nothing, holding you back, holding you down anymore from the actualization of the power that you have been cultivating within yourself in and through the subconscious journey of the moon, right? Which we've been on for quite a while. No more. No more. Obviously, introspection and being in touch with your subconscious is important. But now what I'm hearing is it's time to bring that forth, to bring that out, to bring it out into the world to serve whatever purpose it's going to be serving in others' lives around you, and for your own life as well. This also, obviously, again, right, is the magic, right, that showed up in the oracle reading that you have fully now, at this point in time, speaking in present but also future tense, embody. This is what's being channeled through, right? The magic that you have cultivated and embodied, that you have proven through these chaotic times and these trials, is real, is powerful, is something you can wield for good and for light, is the thing that wants to come out fully at this time. No holding back any longer. We have the Knight of Swords, the Nine of Wands, the Hermit. Wow. Ace of Wands and the Seven of Swords. Okay. Now here's the thing. When it comes to communication, okay, this is the energy of disillusionment. This is where the energy of disillusionment is going to come from. Seven of Swords with the Knight of Swords. It's through the act or essence of communication, verbal communication, or communication in other ways. Could be within the mind, okay, or the ego or the imagination, right? But really what I'm getting is like incoming communication, okay? Trickster communication. This is where the disillusionment lies moving forward from here, okay? There will be these, what I'm channeling here, what I'm feeling is there will be these roadblocks to your progress. There will be these potentially distracting measures being taken, okay, through and because of incoming communication from external sources around that will cause you maybe to doubt yourself or to hold yourself back, right? Or to go down a different path or a distracted path or a wrong path. There is no right and wrong. I think you guys know that, but you get what I mean. The non-true path for what you know you need to be and do. Because the truth is right now, it's extremely important. It's critical, actually I'm hearing, to be completely alone. Yes, you heard me right. Channeling for the True Love Warrior Collective. It is critical to be with yourself when it comes to love. Hermit card with the Magician, in order to manifest everything that you want to actualize and manifest. And here's the reason why, is because if you are involved with other people right now, like you might even be getting the realization that if you're trying to hang out or be with other people, it's just not working out. Like it's just not being harmonious or fruitful. It's just not like, you know, people might be turning you away or not wanting to hang out, or rejecting you, right? And that's because it's not harmonious for you. It's not because you're a bad person, or it's not because you are unattractive. You're beautiful in all ways. But the universe wants you to know right now you have to be alone, because there's things that you and you alone have to actualize, that if you spend energy and time with other external sources or communicate excessively with external sources, it will take you off of the path, and it will attempt to, I'm hearing, either downplay or outright doubt, right? Or cause you to doubt your own power, your own powers. So it's extremely important. Okay, that was a very big point that they wanted me to emphasize. Nine of Wands with the Ace of Wands. Okay, it is a time for strength, right? We have the strength underneath the Nine of Wands here with the Ace of Wands. There is a go, freaking go energy, and do not look back any way whatsoever. And if you're going to communicate your truth, communicate it to people, things, and sources, and outwardly in a way that's impactful, in a way that's of service, in a way that's authentic and of light. Okay? And with your fullest expression of power and passion. We have gone through what we needed to go through in order to develop that inner strength, that inner motivation, that inner sense of, I no longer really care what other people think of me. Right? We had to break the chains of doubt that were sewed upon us within ourselves from very early on through external sources. Now it's time to cast those chains off. Okay. Five of Cups with the Ace of Pentacles with the Eight of Pentacles. Like I said, ain't no love popping up in this tarot reading just yet. All right. We may get a surprise lovers down the line. I don't really feel that that's going to happen, but we never know. Right in the middle of the spread, we have the Eight of Pentacles, right underneath the Hermit and the Magician. So if I had to say, right, as a reader and as a channeler here, life is about business right now. Business is life. Life is business. stability, finances, independence, solitude, and cultivation and continuation. I was going to say continuation of the actualization of your power. Okay. Ace of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles with the Five of Cups. Now, this communication, this disillusioned need or happenstance of incoming communication from the external, from an external source. Again, this could be from anywhere. It does not have to be with your twin or an ex or romantic interest or a soul tie, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be from there, but this incoming attempts at communication into your life that is sowing or wanting to sow the seeds of disillusionment coming from, the society, is coming from a place of sadness. It's coming from a place of hurt. So you will possibly encounter, or you have encountered, or you will encounter this type of communication, disillusioned communication through a place of embodied hurt. But it's you needing to see through that. Does that make sense? It's you needing to be really strong and grounded in your knowingness, your truth, and see through that and respond adequately. Okay? Because it will attempt to take you off your track. That's what I'm hearing. High Priestess and the Queen of Swords here. There's that Queen of Swords right underneath the Seven of Swords. You guys know, right? Spirit is confirming our reaction. It's saying, oh, Brandon's reading downwards today. That's what Spirit is saying. Spirit is saying, Brandon's going to read downwards today. So we're going to confirm his downward intuition. Seven of Swords with the Queen of Swords. Do not take any form of lies or attempts at disillusioned communication coming from a place of sadness. It is the time to free yourself from that or those attempts to sabotage or to disillusion you. That will keep you from being fully embodied in your belief in yourself and or your power. Okay? Now, I know I'm sounding a little intense, and obviously, I don't want to make it sound like it's like evil. It's not evil, but you just have to know, like, there's a reason why Spirit is saying to be alone right now. There's a reason why Spirit is saying it's important to be on your own, is because any form of this that comes in is going to have that energy to it. Okay? So what do? Queen of Swords it. Queen of Swords it. All right. High Priestess. All right. High Priestess and the Queen of Swords with the Ace of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. The High Priestess here really standing out to me, by the way. It's really standing out to me. There's a couple things with this High Priestess card. It's very important. One, the High Priestess strength and confidence in your own intuition and your intuitive powers are going to be the thing that will help you to build your business. Now, I don't mean that in a way of, it's literally going to be the thing that will be what your business is about. You're going to be a psychic or a tarot reader. I mean, when and if you have a career or a business you're trying to construct or to start here, trusting in your intuition and the power and strength in your intuition will help you to navigate how and where to build that, right? Or step by step. I'm hearing step by step. Ace of Pentacles connected with the High Priestess here. Your intuition will guide you to the next step to do. And what I'm hearing is it's very important to follow each step individually. Don't try and, I got to build this grand thing. It's going to do all this stuff. It's going to be all this ways. Don't try and do that. Okay. You can ask your intuition, right? Higher guides. Okay. Higher self. What would be the first step I need to do in order to build this or to create this or to move forward with this, right? And because now you've built that power, trust, and strength in your intuition, you're going to be able to build something real with it. Okay. But you had to go through all of this first. And then combine that with a true, genuine desire and or passion to do so. So the 2 keys here, they're actually giving me instructions. They're telling me to give you guys instructions as to how or what to do with this, okay? They're saying ask your intuition, 1, but 2, combine that with a genuine desire. This is how you know what to do or where to start when it comes to your business life or your work life or your progression here or your manifestation of actualization of the world, whatever that means to you. Asking your intuition to guide you and then combining that with where you as a human have genuine passion or desire, i.e. you enjoy it even when you're not making money. That is the true key. Where do you find a sense of fulfillment, right, and reward for the service that you are giving to others, even if you don't think it's a service that will make money? That is the service to do, as long as your higher self agrees that that is what they want you to do. So listen to your higher self. Do not listen to, I cannot repeat this enough, do not listen to your mind. This is going to be tough, I know. To start this thing, you don't want to listen to your mind. You don't want to listen to your mind to start this thing. You don't want to, and what I mean by that is literally, like, and I've been here too, as a human. I'm speaking as a human at this moment in time. Okay, intuition, gut says, let's start this thing. Let's start doing tarot readings. Awesome. Higher self, is that good? Yes. Human Brandon, do I have desire and passion around this? Do I feel good, want to help others with this? Absolutely. Mind, what do you think about this? And the mind would go, whoa, Brandon. Don't start so quickly. Okay, we haven't even done the market research yet. Okay, we haven't learned how to make thumbnails. Okay, $500 thumbnails. We don't even have an introduction for the YouTube videos you're going to put out. You're going to look like a piece of trash out there. You don't want to look bad. Okay, you got to get a haircut. You got to shave. You got to do the research. You have to read a book. All right, this is literally what my mind told me every time that I wanted to start in the past my business. Do not listen to that mind. I'm telling you from personal experience and from what's being channeled here. It's clearly about life and business. Do not listen to your mind. You can listen. I give you permission. They give you permission to listen to your mind later on when you need to make some logical decisions, right? And I joke about that. The mind's obviously going to help with this, but to start things off, you just have to trust your gut, trust your intuition, trust your higher self, okay? I'm joking, but I'm serious, and that's literally what happened. And once I just let go of things needing to be perfect and having to know exactly what I was going to do and how I was going to do it, obviously you guys see what has been created through time. It's been, 3-6 months now. All right, final row here. We have, there we go, Ace of Swords, 3 of Pentacles with the Empress here. So you have support, okay? You definitely have support here coming in that wants to come in. Absolutely. Whether that's positive or not so positive support, meaning whether it's positive or not so genuine support, genuine versus non-genuine, that is something that I'm hearing that you're going to need to decipher, because it is appearing here underneath more or less of that chaotic energy coming from a different place. But there is support that wants to come in to help you in these endeavors, to provide, right, these other kind of platforms and or things for you to be able to get started, if that makes sense. The other thing is, okay, yeah, so there we go. Because, and again, I was getting that feeling, but, Spirit's just confirmed it. It's like 3 of Pentacles connected to the 5 of Pentacles here, right? I connect cards 1 and 5, cards 2 and 4, generally in my channelings, but where is this support coming from? Because this support, 3 of Pentacles, that wants to come in, by the way, we did channel Magician Hermit, right? And we did channel external communication or external support being from a place of either disillusionment, causing or sowing seeds of doubt within yourself, and or coming from a place of sadness. And now Three of Pentacles is showing up underneath the Five of Cups and across from the Five of Pentacles. So it just makes me feel like, you know, be careful. Be careful who you bring into your support squad and your team. Be discerning of it. You might just be better off alone, honestly. You might feel like, the other feeling that I'm getting here is like, you might feel like you need support to get started. Trust me, 100% you do not. Okay? Especially with the cards showing up here as they are. You do not. Absolutely not. You have what it takes. You are ready to do it. You're ready to fly. Okay? You're ready to fly. So go do it. Empress and the Ace of Swords and the Princess of Wands. You know, at the same time, all this is happening, right? This is the first sense I've gotten of romance or love or what's going on in a connection in your life, right? That's prevalent. At the very same time, all this is happening, right? There is no escaping. There's no escaping. Okay? There's no full, all the way separation if you are in a soul connection at this time. Okay? And at this time, just so you guys know, right? I'm starting to back away from the terminology of twin flame, twin soul. It's okay if you want to use it, but the essence of what is being activated is happening in all sorts of different connections, right? Whether it's a karmic relationship, whether it's a soulmate, whether it's a twin flame, whether it's a beloved or a betrothed. So I don't know what connection you guys are in. I don't think I channel for just one type of soul connection. So I'm just going to call it whatever true love connection that you're involved in, okay? And just kind of let the label go a little bit. I think that feels better for me, to kind of release that attachment to any sort of type of connection. But regardless, there's some deep romantic true love connection here. Princess of Wands, Empress, that is inescapable. It's not meant to be escaped from. It's not meant to be separated from. There is a soul tie. There's a soul connection, right? Whatever label you prefer to use for that. So you have to know, even though you are flying high, you are doing your thing, you are manifesting, okay? It's impossible for you to get too far away from the other, if there is an other in your life. Okay? And you just have to be willing to embrace that. The message around this is like, there's nothing else you can do except just surrender and embrace that truth. Because there will be times. There will be times when you feel completely released. Here's the truth of it, right? Because we all go through these ups and downs. There will be times when you feel, hey, I've got to let this go completely. It's released fully. There's nothing else, you know, that's going to go on. And then like the next day or next week, right? Things change quickly all the time. It's like things come up, feelings come up, right? And you're back to a place where you thought you had left, and then the next day it switches. So there's no control over that, is what I'm trying to say. And don't try to control it. Just let it be. You know what you need to be doing right now. We know what we need to be doing right now. It's very clear. We know where we need to be. And whatever this is, whatever is happening here with this connection on the ethers, in the energetic, this is more of an energetic thing I'm sensing, right? It's not nothing physical. It's more of an energetic sensation that is messing with things. Just trust that it is for your highest good, for your highest progression. Okay? That is helping you to progress as a soul. Always it's for your highest good. Always, always, always. You have to trust that. So that's why it's important to surrender to it and to send it love when it shows up. When and if, but when it shows up. Empress and the Ace of Swords. All right, let me take a sip of cacao here. Oh, yeah. That is the good stuff. I put milk in it today, so got extra extra chi, extra vital energy to share. um, we have the, oh no, see, speak of the devil, the camera overheated. So we'll let it cool down for a second. That's how you know we've gone too long in the love channeling, is when the camera overheats. Empress with the Ace of Swords. All right. So throughout this whole process, it's always, always, always important and critical for you to remain in your truth, in your integrity, in your authenticity, and in your power. There's two types of communication happening for us to be aware of moving forward, right, from here. There's truthful, soul level, authentic, from a place of integrity communication and clarity, right? Deep within the soul of who you are. And that communication will remain consistent and true. Here's how you know. Here's how you know it's true. Is if that communication remains the same or consistent in how you speak to the world, yeah, and to other people, versus how you speak to, right, other people in your life, or a love connection, or someone significant in your life. Okay, it will always be the same because it's coming from the same source. It's coming from source. It's coming from soul. It's coming from your highest self. Versus this kind of communication efforts of disillusionment, chaos, coming from a place of sadness or pain. Okay. So those two types of communication. So just know that the truth may hurt sometimes. The truth may and will hurt and will cut deep sometimes. And even so, you have to be willing to commit to staying in that truth, no matter how deep it cuts, no matter how much it may hurt. Okay, yourself or another person, the truth must be shared. Okay. And that's the hard part. That's the hard part. Because it would be easy to not tell the truth sometimes. It would be easy to conform, right, to something that someone wants to hear, or hiding a truth because you know it may affect someone on a deep level. But the truth must be shared. Okay. So it is about being a messenger moving forward from here, right? A messenger of the light, a messenger of and through integrity, a messenger of God, a messenger of love. Remember, that is why we're here. We are here to communicate the messages and the energy of love to the world through our embodiment of it. Always. So you must know that anything that comes from you, from a true place of integrity, that you've spoken from a place of truth, is coming from a place of love, even if it hurts. Okay? And that's how you know. Let's give the camera one more shot and get this final outcome. 10 of Wands, Prince of Wands, 8 of Swords. Yeah. This is the burden, right? What was just channeled about being in and speaking that truth, right? That is the burden that must be carried, that we've chosen to carry. And it's a heavy truth, right? It's not one that's easily bared. But look at what this person's doing. This person is out in the world showing up with excitement, with passion, with enthusiasm. And because of this Ten of Wands, responsibility and integrity. And the last card, Eight of Swords, showing up in a way that, unfortunately, has people face the things that they don't want to face in their lives. Now, if there's any most important message that I could communicate during this live stream, it's this: that if we want to continue to have or to create a successful, impactful business that is fulfilling and of positive orientation for the world, we must be willing to embody and speak a truth that is not always easy for people to look at. And you may have people in your life that you have a need to, or you will have a need to practice this with. And why do you think that practice was there? It was so that you could do this for the world. So this is a messenger of light. This is a messenger of light. But it's a messenger of light that doesn't necessarily enjoy. I wouldn't say that this messenger of light enjoys so much the burden of truth that he or she bears. Because it's uncomfortable. And it's scary. But that is the key. That is the key we must know to move forward. Okay? Bottom of the deck, look at this. Knight of Cups in the Chariot with Justice and the Hierophant. Right? If we had to distill everything that was just channeled into 4 cards, I think these would be the 4 cards. Messengers of love. Okay. Chariot. Messengers moving forward of love. Knight of Cups. To bring balance, harmony, and justice. Also part of a karmic work. Right, or karmic duty or responsibility to guide the world. Hierophant. So that's where we're at. And that is the sacrifice that we have on a soul level, fortunately or unfortunately, decided to bear. The path we've decided to take. Robert says, pretty bleak outlook, LOL. I couldn't agree more with you, Robert, but you have to know on the other side of this, the reason why, and I think I don't have to reiterate it too much. I think you guys can sense in my passion, my energy, the reason why we are choosing to be this. It's because the world needs this. Okay? The world needs people to speak the truth, to be the change, to speak the truth that people don't want to hear. People need that. No one's doing that right now. Or if they are doing it, it's very underwhelming or not very popular. And we have to remember we're being trained in the area of love because love is the most powerful form of magic. Transformational magic that we can wield as a weapon of light for the world. Knight of Cups. Messengers of love. Through and because of love. Okay? So, in terms of reward or, fulfillment, here's what I can tell you, yes, it's a bleak outlook, but the reward for that, okay? I don't know what the reward is. I don't know if there is a reward. Frankly, we might just be sacrificing ourselves. I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like Spirit wouldn't have us do this unless it was prepared to reward us with more and more and more abundance and wealth and prosperity so we can serve more people. By the way, that is kind of a law of the universe from what I understand energetically, is that the more you are willing to serve to others, the more money and abundance will be given to you from God, from universe, from the source to provide for you as you provide for other people. So if you want one tangible reward for you going out and serving others, there's one. But if money's not your thing, I feel like I'm trying to persuade you guys to go out and do light work. Like, I don't need to persuade you guys. You guys are already light workers. But just so you know, just as a caveat, right? I mean, I've been reading a lot of the Law of One, by the way. I don't know if you guys have read that, but incredible channeling from this entity called Ra about how the universe works. And anyways, he talks about being of service to others in the path of positive polarity. And what happens is when the more you serve others, okay, the more your personal power grows on the positive path. The more you positively polarize and ascend, okay, and the more power is given to you to be able to impact others. Okay, and power not in like a greedy, I'm going to control or dominate other people. It's like power of like influence, right? Like power of impact. And through those actions on the positive polarity path, you get more and more fulfilled, more and more satiated within the heart, right? So there's all of that, okay? Not to mention the fact that most likely this soul tribe, right, through the veil of forgetting that we've actually intended this. Like, this was part of our intention of karmic work, to come here and impact the world with our gifts, right? You know what I mean? Like, because it's very specific messages. It's been very specific about that since we've been channeling, right? Is like, this soul tribe is not just here to be in love. We're here to do a lot of work too. Specific types of work. And I might be here not only to guide in love, but to help awaken or inspire all of you to step into your gifts and your purposes on this planet to impact the change we all know is needed at this time, to help with the transition, right, in the evolution of consciousness. All right, that's what I got with the channeled Love Tarot. There wasn't much about love. We'll say channeled Love and Light Tarot, right? Or Love and Life. But there wasn't much about love, and that's okay. Let's take a look at the chat here. Robert said, "There's the reward." Good. See, I knew there was some reward. Let me just see if there's any comments or questions here I can address. Then we're going to hop into the channeled astrology, guys. And then we're going to finish up with Q&A. So be sure, again, if you have questions about anything I've channeled, questions about healing, the universe, spirituality, I love that stuff, about the nature of love connections, right? I can answer to the best of my ability, and I'll always be truthful. I won't try and BS you guys. I'll answer if I know it. If I don't know it, I'll tell you. Robert says, "Work will set you free." I love it. Rachel says, "Hey, soul family." Well, hello back, Rachel. Nice to have you here. Luis says, "I watched an amazing video on Instagram on Teal Swan's page." I love Teal Swan. She's amazing. In fact, she's mostly what inspired me to want to have an in-person conference, is to do stuff like what she does. That's just, I find her amazing. So thank you for mentioning that. Fireflies, the secret is also an oldie but a goodie. Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up. Heather says, "Dang, we sure signed up for a big job, didn't we?" Yes, we did. It's bigger than we ever thought possible. Truly it is. But we're becoming the people capable of holding that. Hermit888 says, "Feeling like one step closer and 3 step back." Just know those 3 steps back are actually another step forward. I know it feels like 3 steps back. Louis says, "Bring on the love," with a smiley crying face. I know, I feel you. Herminated says, when are we coming close to reunion in love? I have no idea. I don't think anytime soon. I'll just be very honest with you. And if we are, we're not meant to know about it. That's for darn sure. Okay. Unfortunately. But self-love, inner love, that's going to be present in abundance. All right, let's go into the channel Astrology. We're making good time today. We're at 1:11 as I pause to look at the time. We're at 1:11:11, just flashed by. And as I hopped into the live stream, I saw 212 at least 3 or 4 times. So 212 being, again, that angel number that's come to me multiple times, representing soul work, karmic intentions, our soul group, soul tribe intentions, just evolved. And again, 212, let 212 represent from what was just felt and channeled inside of me, soul tribe work, soul tribe intended work together. Wow, that feels really right and good. That we all came here to do. 212. Or 1212 maybe, but 212 feels better. All right, let's get into the astrology before I ramble on too much. And 111, by the way, I always look at that as manifestation. So magician energy is very strong. All right, TikTok, I love you guys. If you guys are on the TikTok, I will be showing the charts live on YouTube for the astrology. The time of now on the astrology chart happens to be 3:33:03 a.m. leftover from last week. How funny is that? All right, let's go to currently right now. Robert says, Robert, you're cracking me up. The old self-love consolation prize. I feel you, brother. Okay, let's get into it. So, again, charts are on YouTube for TikTok if you guys are curious. So, what do we have going on right now currently? May 9th, Mother's Day, 2:17 p.m. Pacific time. We have Lilith conjunct the Sun, 3 degrees away in Taurus. All right. Now, this is all making, if I can see correctly, because it's a little far away from my eyes. Let me just make sure I see what alignment. It's making a sextile to Neptune. Okay. Yeah. You know, this is where the disillusionment. It's funny. I think I give Neptune a bad rap, but I always call out Neptune for disillusionment. Unfortunately, I think it's caused me a lot of disillusionment in my life. Anyways, that's the first thing that came to me. Neptune sextile, Lilith conjunct the Sun. Fortunately, it's a positive opportunity because of the sextile within a disillusionment or illusionment, whatever, if that's even a word, to integrate and to embody, again, your own personal truth and power. Sun conjunct Lilith, really getting clear about your own power, your own righteousness, your own truth. Okay, so big things that's coming to me here. And to identify that and to claim that within, right, the chaos of the illusion of the external reality that's going on right now. Currently happening right now. So as you do this, as you claim, this is where I stand, and this is where I am right, coming from the highest possible place of integrity and unconditional love, right, and truth. That integration of your own personal power will help you to move forward in all other areas of life. I'm smiling because it looks like we have a birthday in TikTok. Whoever's birthday it is in TikTok, happy birthday. Happy Mother's Day. Happy birthday. And congratulations. I hope you're having a great birthday. And it's an honor to have you here, by the way, on this channel on your birthday. Like, I really appreciate that. And it means a lot to me. So thank you. And if you have a question, please type it in the chat. And if we have time, we'll go over it, okay? I can't make any promises, but if you have a question, someone please remember that question. Or if you can post it in the TikTok so it's remembered, that'll help me to remember it, okay? Anyways, let's move forward. So, in addition, we have the moon in Aries coming into a conjunction with Ceres. Okay. Making a square over to Pluto here in Capricorn. All right. So this is, again, where that tension lies, all right, between your own self-recognition and your own self-love and the embodiment of your confidence, your values, okay, when it comes to yourself. Because Ceres here, remember, is about unconditional love, but it's also the balance of giving and receiving love within yourself and to other people. But as I channeled earlier, this collective in particular might have some issues like giving themselves love and validation and allowing themselves to be and feel right. Right? That we are maybe more easily invalidated or prone to being invalidated by other people, right, in disillusionment. So this is about having that confidence. Taurus here does represent values, confidence, and the strength of embodiment of your character. All right? So this is the opportunity today and moving forward from here. Okay? Let me see if there's anything else going on here. Mercury's also conjunct the North Node in Gemini. So there's that essence of communication that we were getting, that we were channeling, right? And this is going to be, again, very important communication. That's either it's incoming or it's being given, or communication that is present or has happened or will happen here. It's very important stuff. But remember to seek and see behind or through the veil of where it's coming from. Okay? Because the other thing we see is Mercury conjunct the North Node in Gemini here. Yes, it is important communication when it comes to moving us forward in our destiny. And it's also making a trine over to Saturn and a sextile to Chiron. So this communication, by the way, this is where we got, it's not necessarily going to be easy communication, because the opportunity here is to communicate from a place that may stimulate pain, truth, and healing. Especially with Mercury conjunct North Node, sextile Chiron in Aries. Almost exact, by the way, because North Node here is at 12, Mercury's at 9, Chiron's right in the middle at 11. So not too fun, right? But it's the opportunity of, are you going to speak up from a place of truth and speak the truth no matter what the consequence, from a place of integrity that you know might be painful for either yourself or another person, but that will be greatly healing or is necessary or required? That's the question you got to ask. That's the opportunity to be had. And that's why Spirit was very specific about staying in that place of truth no matter what pain it may cause. So keep that in mind moving forward from here, because that's going to be an important theme moving forward this week. Really pretty much throughout the entire week. The other thing is it's making a trine over to Saturn. So whatever communication that is coming out that is intense, that has the opportunity to cause some pain or to heal, it's also karmic in nature, right? It's a lesson. It's something that's required karmically in order to move forward or to be free, to move into a new cycle. Okay? And it will, with the trine being there, that helps somewhat, because it's something that just kind of flows, or did flow, right, in the moment, and it kind of just happens. But there's still an opportunity to represent and embody that moving forward from here. And there's Juno in Sagittarius squaring, hard square, like almost exact square to Neptune. So, again, not only this disillusionment generally in society, but disillusionment when it comes to the love connection or the person you might be involved with in a deep romantic sense. Right? Juno here. Whoever that Juno is, that soul connection for you in your life, squaring Neptune, that is where the disillusionment is coming from, or where the disillusionment is trying to be caused from or because of. So you have to be able to see through that. see through that place of pain that any communication might be coming from, or what's at the root of that, and respond appropriately. That's the karmic lesson here too. Okay, on both sides of the coin. And just know that as you go through this process, or as this process occurs, that helps each of you to embody, right? Or one of you, or each of you, or wherever the opportunity lies, to embody more of your strength and authentic power of where you come from or who you are. All right, so it's here as a lesson. All right, that's a lot channeled for just today, I think, but there's a lot going on that wanted to be talked about. So let's move forward and try to see if we can continue on through this week. Welcome to all you guys who are new. By the way, do me a favor if you haven't already. I forgot to mention, if you are new and want continued updates to be part of the Soul Tribe, to be part of the True Love Warrior Collective, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you. And do me a favor, hit that like button as well if you haven't already. It helps the algorithm and YouTube to show these videos to more people so we can find more of our Soul Tribe to change the world. And if you want to be notified when my videos come out, which again is every week when I go live, and also probably weekly for my Zodiac readings, hit that bell button as well. You won't be disappointed. All right, let's move forward. All right, May 10th. Let me see. Again, remember, the first day is going to be the most important for the week. So let me just see if there's anything that happens here. Just keep in mind, Mercury is going to come into that conjunction. Looks like May 10th. Yeah, by May 11th, it's already passed. So kind of like late evening on May 10th. So that will likely be could be a significant, what am I getting here? A significant form of incoming communication or understanding of some degree. Okay, that comes in here. It's making a strong trine, by the way. That's strong trine to strong trine to Saturn. Holy cow. Strong trine to Saturn. That's a tongue twister. Maybe it's a tongue twister. Maybe I just can't speak. In Aquarius. Okay, so we talked about that, but it's good, it's necessary, it's required. Okay, and it's very important for the continued progression of your embodied power, knowledge, and understanding of what's going on. So just know on May 10th and or 11th, or late May 10th is when it's going to happen. Let's actually just go to that exact time, because I think that's an important time. I want to see what else is going on. So there it is. So to be ultra exact, I mean, it's okay. It's going to happen late at night, it looks like. Okay. Oh, there you go. So that's exact. So Mercury precisely conjunct the North Node at 8:26 a.m. Pacific on May 11th. Oh my gosh. And get this. May 11th, Mercury and North Node conjunct 11:11. 11 degrees by 11 degrees. So that's significant. That is big time. Some type of, again, potential incoming understanding, communication, logical integration that very much helps you to release or solve a karmic lesson or opportunity to move you forward in a big way that is also destined. May 11th, Mercury conjunct North Node 11:11 at 8:26 Pacific a.m. I don't know what that's going to be. Sextile Chiron. Feels again, too, though, like an opportunity to, right, embody the truth of who and what you know you are for healing. Okay, for healing, for yourself and or another. At the same time, right, we have, wow, I mean, this is going to be moon conjunct the sun, or it's going to be coming into a new moon then. Oh, holy cow. All right, well, let's go there. Holy cow. There it is. So, and there it is. It's exact now. This is crazy. This is really crazy. If you guys can see on the chat here, I want you guys to look at the numbers here. Okay, the numbers are really intense today. All right, so shortly after that, or later that day, okay, on May 11th at 12:26 p.m., so a few hours after that, we have our new moon. So not only did we get Mercury conjunct the North Node exact at 11:11 on May 11th, okay, at 8:26 a.m., later that day at 12:26 is the new moon in Taurus. And look at this. If you look at the charts, we've got moon and sun at 21:21. Okay. So 212. 212, right? If you were to reverse it, with Uranus at 11 degrees and Ceres at 1 degrees. So we also have on the last digit here 1, 1, 1, 1. You guys see this on the chart? This is craziness. If you guys are on TikTok, I highly recommend watching the charts. 21, 21, 11, 1 on May 11th. So the number 111 or 1111 is extremely potent and significant on this day. And let me just channel for a second. You know, it's one thing to know and see angel numbers, which come up a lot in pretty unexplainable ways on this channel for whatever reason. Well, I know not for whatever reason. You know, it's obviously we're angel driven, we're angel guided, right? So they're going to show up in their way. Also, North Node, South Node at 11:11 too. So, and look, I'll just channel this. 11:11 is a twin flame number. Okay, it is part of the twin flame collective. It means that you're part of this collective going through, right, either a twin flame or a true love soul connection of some sort, or you're learning the lessons of love. It's also a number of manifestation, right? Manifestation of actualization of a future that you would like to project and then actualize out into the world. The vision, right? Actualizing the vision of which you see that you want, you dream, and desire of. So that's why the essence of desire, the magician, right? I see you guys saying union is here, all these things. Look, who knows? I'm not going to say no. Who knows? I have no idea. I can only sense the energies, right? What I would share is, it's pretty astounding energy on this day. I'm a little taken aback, so I apologize if I'm delaying here, but I'm feeling like it is going to be significant when it comes to love. Okay, in some way, shape, or form, it's going to be a significant shift or in the dynamic, and yeah, potentially through healing communication, the opportunity to engage with healing communication within healing communication that brings union with self, okay, with self, even more close or closer, right, or in a more strong, certain, and embodied way. Okay. The essence of certainty is very important here. The word certainty is very important on this day here. But I'm also getting like it's a phase shift. It's like they're showing me it's for going from one phase into another. It's kind of blending into the next phase, right? And then once this phase starts, it's like, okay, now we're in a new phase overall. What that phase is, I'm not sure. But I know it has to do with the freedom and empowerment to go out and live and do you and your soul mission. Okay? But yes, chances are there's going to be involvement here, or it's going to be influenced by or because of a twin or a soul connection here in love, true love. Just remember, we have Juno still squaring Neptune. Okay? Still squaring Neptune. So Juno, 21 degrees, Neptune, 22 in Pisces. So just be careful what you may be wanting, hoping, wishing for, or expecting when it comes to this communication or love generally. That's all I'm asking, is just know that there is an energy of disillusion present. And we channeled in the tarot reading incoming communication that might cause disillusionment, right? You guys remember that? 7 of Swords with the Knight of Swords. That's what this is. So be careful. Be careful when you say, oh, union is here. Look, I love the excitement. I love, but you just have to know, take it one step at a time and know that anything that happens on this day is for the greatest possible purpose, for the highest possible purpose, and to help you become closer, ultimately, within yourself. And I'm really kind of getting that it's going to be about that. It's going to be about becoming even more close and trusting and having even more certainty and trust and embodiment in yourself. Which, as we know, in love, does bring you closer to the other. Default, right? Because we are the other. But again, I would hesitate to say or to expect that true love or union is here. And the reason I say that is because this alignment and also what was channeled in the tarot reading. There wasn't really any love. At least romantic love. You know what I mean? That was May 11th, by the way. So May 11th, that's all happening. It's all going down. Everything was channeled at 12:26 p.m. Pacific. May 11th. There's crazy 11-11 alignments going on. So again, significant time. Okay. Let's keep going on. We're going to go till the 16th, 15th, 16th. But honestly, that's going to be the main hitter for the week, for sure, it's going to be the main hitter. So we'll see what else is here, though. We do have May 12th. We have Lilith conjunct the Sun at 22:22. So that's a good one. Trine over Pluto. Yeah. So what I really see here, there's a full trust, right? Coming out of that new moon, there's going to be a new sense of alignment with self. Definitely. A new sense of alignment or sense of overflowing energy or power, right? Or ability or trust within yourself to move forward and to create from that place. It's going to be beautiful because, again, trine, Pluto in Capricorn, trine, Lilith conjunct the Sun at 22:22. That's good stuff. God, I sound like an actual astrologer. Who understands that? When did that happen? Sun conjunct Lilith, trine Pluto in Capricorn. Yay! It's like who do you think you are? Yeah, I guess that means I'm an actual astrologer when I get excited over just random alignments like that. Anyways, embodiment of power, good flow, momentum, and a confidence and strength moving forward on your path here on May 12th. Good stuff. After, again, significant influence through communication, destined communication, and the seeing through the disillusionment. All right, what else we got? From May 12th to May 13th, the moon is going to be passing over Venus, the North Node, and Mercury in Gemini. So a lot of integration here because of a lot of integration and balance happening here. Yeah, through and because of love. and relationships generally. I almost feel like it's more of a logical understanding of the dynamic of relationships, possibly masculine, feminine polarity going on here, right? A logical integration or understanding of that, and a broadening of perspective when it comes to that in a positive way that will help you to move forward. Yeah, because I feel like once we understand, that's what I've been called to say, like, if you have things that you're studying or reading or looking into that are going to help you understand the nature of the universe, polarity, and why we're all here, that broadening of perspective will literally help you move forward and trust yourself, because you get it. And so when you get it, when you understand from things from a higher or broader perspective, it helps you be more confident, right, in where you're going and who you are and what you actually want. Okay. So open yourself to that, I would say. My advice would be to open yourself to that. What else we got? Okay. So by the end of the week, by May 16th here, we do have the moon also hitting Mars in Cancer. 15th here. What's on the 15th? Oh, okay. There it is. So I'm looking at this Chiron and Aries square Mars here, conjunct the moon. All right. This is pretty big. All right. So the masculine energy, right? Masculine energy generally, as we probably understand, and I'm not saying within a person per se. I'm saying the masculine energy within all of us, but also embodied within men or a masculine, has been and is going through quite tremendous, significant growth spurts, I would say. Take it from someone going through them myself. And I guess, I want to say we, because I'm definitely in this, there's a part of me growing through that too. We are, as a man here, and maybe any other men could speak to this too on the live chat, learning to reintegrate our authentic masculine power and learn what it means to be a sacred masculine, not a wounded or a shadow masculine. And it almost feels like we're on the path to discovering that, and also to connecting that power, okay, that masculinity to the heart. Okay. And as I speak this, it doesn't just have to apply to men. This is also occurring in the feminine, collectively, right? In females, obviously. So maybe something you're noticing is like, okay. The question would be, how do you associate with, or how do you relate to, right, the masculine energy generally? Like, is there something that's scary about it? Is there something that's intimidating? Is there something that's just dark about it to you, the listener, the viewer, towards or because of how or what you've perceived masculine energy to be in the past? And if so, how can you heal that within yourself? That's for the feminine or females generally, right? Again, energy, gender, two different things. For men or people relating more to the masculine energy, it is this, right? It is this transformation of how we utilize and what true power is. Authentic, sacred power as a man, as a masculine. And as the masculine heals this part of himself, right? The feminine's being asked to heal and allow and hold space for that healing to occur, and to, allow herself to be open to healing that trauma. Does that make sense? So I don't know why they're having me channel in this way. I think it's because they know I'm going through this on a different side. I mean, I may be going through both, but I'm really, going through this other part too. I'm literally going through, like, I have, shamanic initiation sessions with men where we're all in this tribe and we're reinitiating our authentic fire, right? And what that means. So that's what's going on here, just as a perspective to you guys. So it's a struggle, right? It's a discovery process. It's a realization of where that power energy has been wounded in the past, how we've hurt ourselves and others with those wounds and those shadowy sides, and what true power is and is not. And I'll just explain it, right? Because this is what I'm studying as well, is like true power is not taking from another. True power is not dominating or wanting to dominate another. It's not conquering, right? Anytime there's a masculine energy or masculine energy generally that seeks to dominate or control another, to take power from another for him or herself, that is coming from a place of shadow, ego, or negative polarization for the self. True power lies in giving, right? Admiring and serving, supporting others, and giving, right? To others, but also the feminine. Selflessly. So that's the whole shift. I mean, it's a big, and I'm spending some time on this because it's a significant shift that's occurring collectively for all of us right now. It's a big thing. So wherever you're at within that train or boat, right, that's you just got to be aware that's what's occurring. And so in order for that to occur, the shadow aspects are coming out so they can be, released and transformed. So you just got to know when it is and when it isn't. All right, let me just finish this up here. May 16th, Moon has successfully passed over Cancer. So that might be highlighted, by the way, on the 15th. That's why I spent time there. It might be highlighted on the 15th, 16th. With the Moon passing over there. But it's occurring even right now and before, right? Mars square Chiron. All right. So last day here, May 16th. Venus here, finally conjunct the North Node in Gemini. Mercury here still making that trine to Saturn. Pluto still trining over to Lilith and the Sun. And Neptune still making the square over to Juno. Moon's making a trine to Earth and a trine to Neptune and Pisces. That's good. Okay. So to close out the week, there's nothing too different about this. The only thing I would say to look out for by the end of the week is to really trust your solo intuition. Moon, trine, Neptune, and Pisces, or trust the guidance that's been shown to you as an individual, not necessarily connected or attached to anything or anyone else, to allow you to have the confidence and power to move forward in that direction. So remember, we channeled this whole thing with the tarot about allowing your intuition to help you make that next step. That's this. That's where this is coming from. Moon, trine, Neptune, trine the Earth in Scorpio, with all of these other alignments too in Taurus and Gemini. You will have guidance. You will have self-guidance, possibly even external guidance, but I'm feeling more like higher self-intuitive guidance about the next way to move forward and step forward here by the 16th after all of this stuff happens throughout this week. Okay? So trust that. And by the end of this week, we should all have a very new solid direction to pursue when it comes to life and business and our manifestation of what we came here to actualize. All right, I'm going to take a long, dramatic pause and sip as I regain my energy a little bit, drink some milk and cacao. And what I would love to do now, Sana, if you're here, would be for you to start to gather some questions. I'll give you a few minutes here and just start to post them as you see fit. And I will just follow your name. I will keep reading your name alone for the questions you choose, okay? And I'll let you know. We're about halfway down the cup here. So that means we probably got, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 minutes or so. But that was a lot of energy kind of spent there. So let me just check in and see how you're all doing. Let me see what you guys are talking about here. There might be some interesting conversations Miss L, thank you. I enjoy this. You're welcome. D1 only, Vinny. Lilith in the Sun. Lilith in the Sun. That's right. Lilith in the Sun is pretty incredible. That was the first thing we channeled in the first day. Oh. Miss L says, I embrace my masculine energy and use it only when I need to. I love that. Mel says, us DFs have been waiting for DMs to align fully with their heart's pace. I love that. I love that. I know it's been a process. Trust me. Lee Thomas says, I know the person I was involved in funny way of saying that, has a lot of healing. They started my healing path. I wish them well on their healing path. That's awesome, Lee. Always best to just send love, no matter what. Sana says, in the past life, you were astrologer. I think so. There was someone that was specifically given to me. I forget his name. So the dark magician, the one who created the Thoth tarot deck. Whatever reason, I had it downloaded one night that I was him in a past life. I forget his name though. Okay, so let's get to the questions. So I'll start with Inez. You guys have a good questions today. So I'll start with Inez. Thank you, Sana, by the way. I appreciate it. So Inez said, how do we know that the DM is going through the journey too if they aren't very spiritual? Okay, really good question. So you have to know first and foremost, all right? When we say the journey, okay, the journey can be represented in many different ways, all right? Depending on your perspective, depending on your experience, depending on your background and your conditioning and your mind's, the priority you have on your mind. For most of us on here who would consider ourselves more from the perspective of the feminine, right? We have a natural inclination and ability to be in resonance with spirituality, to believe and have abilities to be in contact with spiritual beings, right? And to be in touch on a soul level, right? The masculine, okay, that journey could look completely different. It could look like going through tough times when it comes to life generally, about the circumstances he may find himself in other ways when it comes to his job, his family, his living situation, right? His finances, whatever it is, that may be his journey that he's going through. At the same time that the feminine is going through the journey, but in her specific way. Does that make sense? So the feminine's journey might be all spiritual and all about spiritual growth and progression, and the trials of emotions helping to progress her into her power and her spirituality, even more so to help with her spiritual understanding, whereas the masculines might look and appear completely different. But in the end, it's still a spiritual journey. We're all on a spiritual journey. It's just, it may not be perceived like that for the masculine. Does that make sense? But you have to know the lessons that he, quote unquote, he may be learning through this time will be just as difficult in their own way as what you or the feminine may be going through. Okay? Yeah. But there's just different ways of that journey being represented or appearing. So it's not going to look the same. It's not going to look like, if you're a feminine, you're going through this intense, you're feeling all the emotions, you're in contact with higher beings, you're feeling their emotions, you're getting all these messages. Chances are they're not doing that. They're not getting those same things. That's not their progression. That's not why they're here. But they may be becoming more experienced and accomplished and or wise when it comes to other things. Right? So I hope that answers your questions. But that was a good question. But just know, and the biggest thing, just to end with a bow on top for that, is like, you just got to trust. You just have to trust that whatever it looks like, right? Whatever it looks like, don't worry about looks. Don't worry about how it appears. Because underneath the surface, it is still a spiritual journey for them as well, just as much as it is for you or the feminine. But it's happening in a different way. But the same lesson is ultimately being learned. Okay? It's just in the way that is able to breach the masculine energy in a way that he can navigate with. Okay. Not saying that deep underneath the surface he's not, having these same kind of inclinations or feelings or kind of spontaneous happenings. Like, that may be happening, but he's not really paying as much attention to it, nor should he, as the feminine is, because they're two different types of journeys. Again, this is from what I understand, so take it as it resonates. All right, Latifa, thank you for your question. Latifa, thank you, Sana. What's the best way to step into and actualize our magical powers? I love this question. Thank you for asking this. When we got the Magician as the first card out, so it's a really good question, and the Sorcerer and the Oracle. Okay, good. I'm glad I answered your question on TikTok here. Someone had the same question. Okay. Anyways, ending of that last, trust that they're on the journey, trust you're on the journey, whatever happens for the highest good, no matter what. You just got to trust in that without knowing the truth. Okay, let me just finish that. Number 2. All right. Best way to step into and actualize our magical power. So one, you have to know if you're on this live chat, if you're resonating with what I'm saying, if you represent yourself as the divine feminine in a true love connection, you have already within you magic. Serious magic. Okay? You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have stuck around and listened to these crazy messages, right? Crazy messages to anyone else. They would be crazy. To many people, they would be crazy. Of some random dude channeling higher beings through the tarot. You wouldn't have stuck around unless you yourself had magic within you. That's one. You already have it. Number 2, the methods, the how-to, many different ways, but I'll just give a couple different examples. One, the power of speech is very important when it comes to accessing magical powers. The Magician in the tarot represents the actualization, the manifestation, the conscious mind, right? What can be tangibly seen, felt, and experienced, versus the High Priestess, which is the unconscious mind and represents silence, right? So if the High Priestess represents unconsciousness and silence or beingness, the Magician's going to represent the opposite, okay? So the power of speech is extremely and underratedly important when it comes to actualization. This is how I learned, okay? Particularly, you want to practice with yourself, and you can do it in any sort of way. My favorite way is when I'm going through a tough time or I need guidance, I will use the power of my speech to actualize an experience that I want to have. For example, let's say I'm going through some tough emotions, I need guidance, or I'm not sure what to do. Through the power of unconditional love, asking for guidance now for my spirit guides, loved ones, angels, and ancestors. Please allow me to receive the energy and or guidance for my highest good at this time and to see clearly into the situation. So this is the essence of it, right? As I spoke that out, imagine you're speaking out an incantation, just like in Harry Potter, just like, no different than Harry Potter, by the way. No, spells are real. And then allow yourself to be open to the experience that happens. Right? In the same way that you would do that, you can set verbal intentions to guide you to what you want. So if you want progression in business, insight in business or money or circumstances, right? Say, I am, these are the words. These are the magic words, okay? You guys ready? The words are, I am. Okay? I am manifesting my dream life every single day in every single way for my highest good and the highest good of others. Let me repeat that. I am manifesting my dream life every single day in every single way for my highest good and the highest good of others. By the way, I've never said that one before. This was channeled straight from source in this moment. So, but I think they wanted to give one example of what it would look like. That's magic. Okay? That's magic. I am. Those are the magic words they're saying right now. I am. I am, I am, I am. So you have to know, right? You are the magic. You have it within you. When you believe and trust that you're connected to and you are everything around you, you realize you have influence over it. You guys see that? The magician knows through and because of his or her beingness and the beingness being connected to everything around him or her, because we are all one, we are all source. The magician then knows that through the power of speech and intention, he or she can influence the things around him or her. You guys see that? That's influence. That's power. Now, the reason I'm sharing this with you guys, because I wouldn't share this with everyone, by the way, because you guys are light workers. We're light workers. We are using this for good. And because this works on both sides, right? You can, negative entities, negative people, negative polarized beings can use this too for self-fulfillment. So, it is truly, right? I feel trusting of giving this crowd that work. My one ask for you guys, right, would be to not infringe upon the free will of others. Okay. In the law of one, Ra actually channels that the way of light or positive polarity, part of the polarization or the part of the path of service is to respect and to fully allow others their free will and to not infringe upon it in any way. So I would ask, right, that you respect that if you're going to use this magic, okay? So anyways, that's what I mean. I hope that answers your question to some degree, but that's what I mean when I say magic and actualization. So it's consciously setting and speaking out, if you prefer, your intentions for the world. KP, thank you for the donation. I appreciate that so much. All right. What else do we got? Good question, Latifa. I appreciate it. All right, good. Luis says, did he mean communication coming from DM will be deceptive, or will be deceptive communication about DM from someone else? I wasn't clear. Okay, good question. Obviously, there's no way to know specifically where or how this communication will come from. The astrology won't tell us the source specifically of it. But from what I felt, you have to know that one thing is very clear. It will be coming from an external source, it feels like. Like there will be an external source of some type of incessant influence, attempts of influence and or communication incoming. Feels very incoming for us to be discerning about. That is as precise and as specific a message as I can give, okay, without trying to give specifics, because I can't give specifics. Okay. Now, keep in mind, we had Juno square Neptune, which would indicate that the potential source of this type of communication, yes, could come from a love interest, could come from someone you're connected to in love, or the perception you have around someone connected to you in love. Right? So I definitely can't guarantee. I mean, it's going to be different for everyone. It's going to be different for everyone, but that's the energy. I can channel the energy. But I would say, yeah, it's not going to be about. Yeah, I don't feel that. I don't feel it's going to be about, a person in love. It will likely be from or because of directly a person that you're connected to in love. That's what I'm feeling. Again, could be different for everyone. And I don't know specifics, but that's the best I can answer to your question. Good question. Crystal Marie says, yes, I'm living proof magic is real because I'm living back at my family home that 5 years ago I was told I wouldn't ever live in again. That is amazing. That is amazing, Crystal. Thank you so much for sharing. That is really cool. And Latifa, you're welcome. I hope it helped. All right, Sana, what else we got? Awesome. Love and Empathy 1111. And Mandy Apartment, or APT. Apologies if you didn't mean apartment there. Why masculine has the opportunity to date others and the feminine is all alone on this journey. Will DF get bad luck for having an affair? Okay, I love this question. What an appropriate question for this time period, yeah? Am I right? Absolutely. Ace of Wands. Okay. Here's the deal. As best as I can answer this question, all right? You guys got to remember too, right? I'm only human. But here's the best way I can answer and channel for this question. Okay. When it comes to having an affair, okay, or sleeping around, the reason why it appears that the masculine energy is either comfortable with, okay, or having no problem sleeping around with other people is because of a lack of awareness or awakening in a very specific sense. I want to be very careful about how I phrase this because I do not want you guys to think that it is solely disempowerment on the masculine's part, because it's not. Okay. Part of the reason why the feminine has been, quote unquote, held back from this isn't because she's not able to or allowed to, quote unquote, again. It's because if she were to do so, that she would feel deep within her soul a sense of self-betrayal. In some spot. And it's because of, right, a tendency, and yes, actually, an opening of the heart chakra in the feminine energy connected to the sacral energy, right? The fire of sexuality and passion, that has made it much more difficult for the feminine to engage in what we would call casual hookups, hookup life, or affairs. Because there is such a strong emotional, heart-centered connection or attachment to the masculine energy. It's like she couldn't bear to do that. She couldn't bear to engage in that. Whereas you have to remember, as I spoke about earlier, remember the transformation happening in the masculine energy, or someone who embodies more of the masculine energy. It's the connecting of the sacral to the heart. It's the connecting of his sexuality, sexual energy to his heart, which is already present, for the most part, in the feminine. So the reason why this is occurring is because up till this point, as the shift continues, there has been a separation of, or a blockage of, the sexual desire of the masculine to his love, to his emotions, to his compassion, to his humanity. Okay. The other reason this is happening is because the feminine, frankly, and we're at 1222, by the way, the feminine, right, knows intuitively, like if you guys are watching this, resonating with what I'm saying, and you haven't left yet, you're in touch with your soul. You're in touch with your higher self. You're in touch with the universe, the collective, and God. Right? The burden of being connected. So it is nearly impossible for the feminine to engage in an act of sacred sexuality while at the same time throwing away her sense of humanity and connection to another human being through disengaged or disconnected sexual activity. Is this making sense to you guys? The bottom line is, and some of you even I know, I'm not going to say any names, but some of you even I know have gone through this experience where sex or sexuality or disconnected sex has helped you to awaken to yourself, to your heart, to your sense of what sacred sexuality is, to connecting your sacral to your heart, because you realize through your awakening that, wait a minute, maybe non-sacred, disconnected, lustful sex isn't serving the soul anymore. And you've had to go through this process or this engagement one or multiple times in your life to wake up to this. Is there anyone who can say that they've been through this? Okay, I know I have. And sometimes it takes multiple times, right? To realize, wait, I actually want connection to the self, to the other. I want love. I want that level of fulfillment. When you get to that level, there's no going back. There's no going... That's the frustrating part. There's no going back. Because you can't have a fully open and connected heart and sacral and then go back to meeting someone on Tinder and having sex with them before really establishing a connection. You guys see that? So, my point is, if this is the case with the masculine generally, or someone you're connected to, it is their path of awakening. It is their path of awakening. Remember, we channeled earlier the answer to a question. What does the journey look like for the masculine energy? How does it differ from the journey of the feminine? That's what I mean. They're still awakening, but they're awakening through different vehicles and different methods. I.e., if this is something that they've been doing, having an affair or having sex with other people that they're not really connected to. That's part of the way, that's part of their journey. Now, it sucks because obviously it's hurtful, right? It's hurtful to someone if they're connected to someone doing that, but that's where the feminine has to know on a higher perspective, hey, this is their path. And eventually, that will help them to realize that that's not serving them anymore, and that there was always only ever one person, one person whom they can have a meaningful, intimate connection with heart and passion that nothing will ever come close to. You guys see that? Nothing will ever come close to that. Nothing can ever beat fully connected heart and sacral, positively charged sex. All right? Sacred sex. So in a long-winded fashion, that's why. And it's a really good question, and I wanted to spend time. Obviously, you guys can feel I have a lot of passion around this because it's been part of my journey too. Right? Remember that there's a side of me that is also masculine. Even though I channel for in love as the feminine, there's also a side of me that is masculine. So I can tell you, right, that is the journey that we have been realizing in many respects. So I hope that was helpful. And yeah, I'm getting comments. I mean, it really hurts, though. It's very hurtful. Absolutely. It's hurtful. Absolutely. I'm not denying that. I'm not. And at the same time, you have to know that going through having those heartbreaking moments and realizations, okay, because of that, that is also part of the growth journey for the feminine, right? Is being able to hold space for that. And again, if you guys watched it was either on TikTok or some other live stream recently, the energy was, actually it was, I think it was the other night, I forget, but the energy was, it ended up being Devil, 6 of Wands, and 7 of Cups. For the feminine, it was channeled for the feminine as the final outcome. Something like that. Where it was like, you found out or you've been hurt by someone in your life sleeping with others, and so it makes you want to do the same thing, right? It's that devil energy of like, all right, I got to be victorious in this by going out and matching that energy and sleeping with other people to feel good about myself. Yeah. Because I feel like I'm missing out, or I feel like, why should they get to have the fun and I don't? But that, again, that's missing the point. That's missing the point, even though it's the harder path. Devil energy. Okay. Now, as a last caveat to that, because then I'll go to the next question, because I know I've spent a long time on this question. But it's a good question. Yeah, you guys have to know, I'm not against the feminine energy going out and having sex with other people. If it's in alignment, it feels good, it feels in alignment, and it feels positive for both herself and the partner she chooses, meaning that it's helping to enhance her energy, right? It feels connected, it feels good, it feels fulfilling. And with whoever she chooses as a partner, the same. The challenge is, obviously, this is difficult to accomplish or do unless there's, unless she's really kind of spending time and energy getting to know and connect with someone else, which, as we've just channeled, that's kind of not where the energy is. The energy is more in a hermit mode, you know what I mean? And manifestation of your own passion. So it's a difficult situation. I understand that. So again, not closed off to that if that feels in alignment, but you have to realize if you do and were to engage in that, do you want to positively polarize or increase your energy by having it be like a connected, intimate, and fulfilling experience? Are you ready to create that level of a connection with another human being at this time? Right? That's the question I would ask. Okay. Okay. Ildiko, I think I pronounced hopefully that right. Ildiko says, so how do we balance this energy? The DM need a DF to make love. So how DF will heal the guilt within herself. So how can we balance this energy? The DM need a DF to make love. I see what you're saying. So how DF will heal the guilt within herself. Ildiko, I'm not sure if you're referring to... I'm not sure if you're referring to... Like, which energy are you referring to being balanced? And why the DF would heal the guilt within herself. But I'm going to address, and if you want to clarify, you can, but I'm going to address the guilt part. If there is, generally, if you're dealing with guilt, could be for any reason, but guilt generally, what that means. You have to go to the source of that guilt. Okay, so if you are feeling guilty, also, guilt or feeling guilty is also one of the mechanisms that the ego will employ to keep us unempowered. Okay? Especially if you have a tendency towards blaming yourself versus, placing the responsibility where it's meant to be placed. This is happening energetically right now, so I think it's a good question. If you were feeling guilty, you really have to ask, right, through the power of unconditional love or the Holy Spirit, like a higher divine objective source, like ask your soul really down deep here, why am I feeling guilty? Does this guilt truly belong to me? Is this truly my responsibility or something that I need to take responsibility around? Like, what is the reason I'm guilty? Okay? Because it could just literally be a projection of guilt into yourself because of a feeling of not being worthy or feeling inadequate in some way. You guys see that? So again, the ego will fill that void. If there's a void somewhere inside of yourself, the ego will fill that void and project that guilt there so that you don't have to assign it to something or someone else that is actually responsible. Does that make sense? So what you got to do is you got to get out of your own way, connect with the earth. Remember, we channeled earth as your sense of power and embodiment in the very beginning. That's what I'd recommend. Go find the earth. There should be some earth around you. Go to the beach, go in nature, go in the mountains, in all seriousness. Take off your shoes and socks. Connect with the earth. Literally, I mean connect with the earth. And then do this process and ask, hey, Earth, Mother Gaia, Divine Energy, the Holy Spirit, do you guys sense this guilt inside of me? Or you can ask, right? I'm saying you ask Earth and you ask the Holy Spirit, do you sense this guilt inside of me? Is this my guilt? Should I be feeling guilt? Where is this guilt coming from? And await your answer. Wait the sensation. If it is not for you, then the ask is to release it. So then you would ask, okay, I see that this guilt is coming from my ego. Creator of all that is, Holy Spirit, asking for you to release this guilt inside of me. For it to be seen for what it truly is, and for the person responsible to, take this or be responsible for it. However you want to word it, right? But just do some sort of kind of wording or incantation around letting go of the guilt, releasing the guilt. And again, you may get a deeper reason. Most of the time, it's going to be because of feeling unworthy or feeling inadequate in some way. Okay? Yeah. Like a sense of you have to take on the blame because you are, again, not worthy or inadequate is what it keeps coming to me. Yeah, fix it, change it, these types of languages, right? But the most important thing is to get in contact with an objective, higher divine source. That's why it's so important to be in touch with the Holy Spirit and also the earth. Those are your two reference points. Those will not steer you wrong, okay? They won't. If you ask them, they will not steer you wrong. Your mind, yeah, can play tricks on you all day long. All right. Let's do a couple more questions, then we'll close out here. But these are great questions, guys. Thank you for asking them. I really feel like this is going to serve whoever watches this video, which, by the way, it will not get copyright banned this time. You guys probably were frustrated. I was frustrated with the fact that it got copyright banned last time because I played the Eagles. We're at 2:22 in the chat, by the way, or the time. Okay. Suzanne, hello. Suzanne says, can we look at divine masculine? This was mostly feminine. No, we cannot. Sorry. And I promise you there's a purpose for it. I know that it sucks for me to say that. If I'm being truthful to you, to me, and in integrity with my own soul, even though as a human I would love to do a reading for the masculine for you right now, I absolutely know in my heart of hearts that it is not what I meant to channel right now for you guys. Okay? And again, even me, as you guys can learn from me, right? I want to apologize for that. You guys see that? Like my habit was going to be, and I'm sorry for that. But I do not apologize. And the reason why is because the lesson we're learning is to embody and speak and know our truth, being unapologetic for it, because it's coming from a place of integrity. And I'll say the reason why is because right now it is not, let me repeat, not a harmonious or it's not a harmonious or in alignment part of our journey, if you're listening, to be aware of where the masculine energy is at and what's going on. This may be an unpopular opinion. There may be tarot readers who would disagree and say, no, well, we're going to read for the masculine because blah, blah, blah. But I promise you, if I were to read for him right now, it would simply be more of the same of what we've already channeled weeks ago, which is, right? He's doing his earthly karmic tasks. He might be involved with another third party, right? Embodying the Prince of Discs, these lower kind of younger energies, night energy. Okay. Maybe slowly starting to wake up to what's going on. Like these types of energies, I can promise you. There's a reason why. Okay. No mention really of love or connection came out in the reading today. It's because you guys already know the truth. You don't need me to channel it. If you guys really ask and sense, you can feel where it's at. Okay. You can feel where it's at for yourself. All right. And I'm sure, again, there's other tarot readers who are doing divine masculine readings, and that's great. And, and maybe I'll lose viewers because that's what you guys want, and that's totally cool. But I got to be true with the direction of this channeling and this channel as well, which is right now needing to be about self-individualization, actualization, empowerment, and manifestation of stepping into your greatest gifts. Okay? So I hope you can respect that. What else we got? Thank you, Suzanne, by the way, for asking. I'm glad you asked that question. Lets people know where I'm at and maybe why I haven't done as many love readings here recently. Miss L, I'm glad to have you here as well. Let's do 2 more questions. We'll do 2 more questions, Sana, if you're cool with that. Okay. And by the way, just so you guys know, Sana is going to be receiving 100% of the donations today. So if you guys do have donations and you are feeling grateful for Sana's work, that will be passed along to her completely. So I saw KP donated $20. Thank you so much. And I know Sana would appreciate it. So just wanted to throw that out there. And Sana, if you have 2 more questions, we'll finish out with that. E-Dog, I appreciate that. Kale. I think it's Kaylee Brook Mason. Okay. Best way to protect your dreams. Okay. So this is for Kaylee Brook Mason. Best way to protect your dreams. This is a very fascinating question. And I'm not sure exactly what you mean by protect your dreams, but I'm going to assume that you mean to protect your dreams from other people or entities, I would say. And let me know if I'm wrong in that or if you meant something else. But I'm going to operate on the assumption you meant kind of protect it from other people entering your dreams or entities. Okay. Also could be other people knowing your dreams or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what you meant by protect your dreams, but I'll just share what comes up for me. So dreams are, from what I understand and what I've experienced, very much spontaneous arisings of the subconscious mind, right? Information, messages being transmitted or needing to be seen and recognized on and from the unconscious level or the spirit realm, either of those 2 places. So the one thing that I would say is when it comes to protection in general and or particularly in your dreams, especially if you're conscious in your dreams or you're lucid, your one protection is love. Okay? There's a reason why we're called true love warriors. It's because if you are able to wield and utilize the power of love, love depolarizes any and all negatively charged entities that exist. And chances are if you need protection, it's from or because of some negatively charged, okay, self-fulfilling entity that would want to harm you or disrupt you in some way. Okay. And again, correct me if I'm misunderstanding you in any way, but this is what I'm getting. So what happens is you have to know if they are messing with you, are taking a risk, or they're messing with you because they think that you don't know or you're unaware of how to hold and utilize your power, which again is love and light and love. So if you love them, send them love, embody love in their presence, ask for love to surround and protect the space that you're in and your dreams from Archangel Michael, God, and Jesus, there's absolutely nothing they can do. And also they will run away with their tails between their legs if they do indeed have tails, because love will depolarize. It will weaken their power. Okay. And this is all, by the way, from the Law of One channeled audio and from this guy, Aaron Abke, talks in the Law of One. Incredible text. But basically, he mentions that to become someone who would want to, be powerful in a way that's taking for the self, negatively polarized path, he talks about that being a difficult thing to sustain because it's much more difficult, much more intensive than the positively polarized path, which is service to others. So you sending it love and taking away that hard-earned polarization of the negative is totally not what they want to experience. So that's why, anyways, if you don't react to the fear or if you don't react in or from fear, that's the only thing that are fueled by is fear, basically. Okay, so to answer your question succinctly, because I'm running out of juice here, never ever, or do your best. Obviously, it's hard sometimes to act out of fear or to let off the energy of fear. Know that you are 100 million times stronger. The power of love and light is stronger than any negatively polarized person or entity. Okay, so if you embody and use love, they stand no chance. Okay, so I would set the intention for your dreams to be surrounded and protected by love and light always. Okay, and if you ever encounter something or someone that is, a negatively polarized entity, that's what you do, is you send it love. Okay? All right, I hope that answers your question. We'll do one more question. Latifa, that's awesome. She said, I actually did this last night in my dream. That's awesome. Yeah, by the way, you guys, I'm glad this came up. This is happening. Okay? I know it's not just me. Like there is, there's like entity stuff happening right now, right? Like, yeah, engagement with, presence with, communication with, awareness of entities generally. I don't want to scare anyone, but that is a thing. So it's important for you to know what you have to use as your sword of light, which is love. Okay? And yes, it's happening to me as well. You got to know what to do. All right, last one. User 907, lots of numbers from TikTok. Oh, Sana's taking TikTok questions as well. Thank you, Sana. Oh, see how amazing of a moderator she is. I didn't even ask her to do that. Wants to know your take on telepathy. Okay. All right, let's talk about telepathy. Okay. So there's a couple different ways that you know what? I'm going to actually finish this cacao so I have the energy to speak about this because I'm running real low on energy. Hold on. Give me 1 sec. 1 sec. This is good, though. I'm really excited to talk about this. But you can tell my voice is getting to that place where it's getting a little, hoarse. That's how I know it's time to stop. Gone almost 2.5 hours. It's not bad. All right. I wonder what the record is, by the way, on how long we've gone for. I don't know if we've breached 3 hours before. Okay. Here we go. Last question. Telepathy. So here's the deal. Telepathy can be perceived in a number of ways. All right. The most common way it's perceived is direct. I'm looking at you. You're looking at me. We have eye contact. If we have eye contact, we have soul contact. If we have soul contact, we can communicate on a nonverbal level. You guys see that? If we can communicate on a nonverbal level, that's essentially what telepathy is. Right? Okay. So the first thing is, yes, it exists. Very real. Of course, it exists. You may have experienced this before, unintentionally. It happens sometimes when you are around other people who you either have a harmonious or synergistic vibration with. Okay? Like there's a natural kind of enmeshment of your energies in a positive way. You might have this spontaneous telepathy. One of the people that you might have this with naturally is your twin flame, if you have a twin flame, or a deep soul connection. You might experience this form of telepathy. So that's the first way I perceive it. And again, this doesn't have to be with your twin. You can be, if you're looking at someone in the eyes and this happens, that's why. You're communicating on a soul level, and chances are both of your souls are pretty advanced souls, okay? So it may happen spontaneously. The second way I perceive it, there's three ways I perceive it. The second way I perceive it is almost like a unintentional mind reading kind of way, all right? Meaning that, let's say that someone's in your vicinity and they haven't said anything or they're not saying anything, and yet you can very much pick up on their intentions. Yeah, did this ever happen to you guys where you're like, whoa, where did that come from? Like you either heard something or you felt something that would indicate someone else is planning on doing something or thinking about something. That's the other form of telepathy from what I can perceive. All right. This will happen sometimes unconsciously or spontaneously. But if that does happen to you, it does mean that you have a pretty, I would say, significant gift, because that is the, I would say, the harder way or the more difficult way of getting it. So it means you might have more of an awakened third eye perception. Okay. That's never happened to me personally, from as far as I know, but I do know it's happened to people. Okay. And the person emitting this, again, may or may probably isn't aware that you're picking up on it, but that you are. And also, it doesn't have to be words. It can just be a feeling or a sense, energetic sense. Okay. But it can be words often. The third way that at least I am aware of or know of, okay, is energetic communication that you receive most likely and most often with a twin flame or a soul connection, someone you're deeply, deeply entrenched with on a soul level, about what's happening with them, what they're going through, and or thoughts or feelings that they are having. For me, personally, this is the most common way that I experience telepathy. And that's when I'm telling you guys, you don't need me to read for your masculine. This is why. Because if they truly are a soul connection in this way, they, when it's perfectly appropriate, will always, consciously or unconsciously, send you the messages energetically of what they're going through and what the truth is. Okay? So you will get or receive random feelings, words, admittances of truth, okay? Emotions, okay? Oftentimes unspoken, that you are feeling from the deepest part of their soul. All right? Now, this is where the frustrating part lies most of the time for the feminine. And this is why it's difficult. It's because oftentimes the feminine knows the truth, like can see the truth of someone else's soul, especially someone she's connected with. But the other person either doesn't know this or thinks that they can speak a truth different from what their soul says or does or wants and have it be believed or satisfactory when it's not, because the feminine can feel the truth. Okay? That is probably the most common form of telepathy that we as a channel are or have experienced. Yes, and yes, Sana, that would explain that. E-Dog, I'm going to answer your question because it's a good question. He or she says, so should we ignore the telepathic messages during the separation? Okay, really good question. Really good question. If you are getting telepathic messages in this way that I described, which, again, probably many of us are, they are coming for a reason. You have to assume that there's a reason for them, okay, that your soul needs to know at this time. They wouldn't just come randomly or for no reason to annoy you. That's not how it works. It's either because you needed to know the actual truth in that moment for whatever reason, or you needed some type of confirmation to take responsibility off of yourself or blame or guilt off of yourself. right? Or to just reassure you, basically, about what's actually happening underneath the surface. This is, from what I know, the most common reasons why these feelings come to you. So to answer your question, I would say yes and no. Because yes, in the sense of if you try to confront the other person with their true feelings when they've told you something different, let me ask you guys, what do you think the outcome's going to be? Especially if they've already, right? Do you think that they're going to go, you're right. You know, can't believe you sense the truth on a soul level. I've been lying to you the whole time. Right? No. And I joke about this, but in all seriousness, like, it's not going to go well. You know, you're going to be met with a complete denial, most likely, which will be even more frustrating because then you're like, well, am I really wrong? Was I imagining that, right? And then no, also, the other side of that, okay, in terms of your question, should we ignore it? Because I think as someone said, up to you, tarot, right? Sometimes they come in so you can act with your own life and make decisions for you based on what the truth actually is, right? For example, let's say that a masculine says, hey, don't want anything to do with you. I don't love you. You know, I've moved on, blah, 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 whatever it is, as a hypothetical example. Okay. Not that this has happened to any of us. Wink, wink. But on a soul level, they're sending very different messages, right? And the messages you're getting are like complete opposite of like, I don't know what's going on because this person says they've moved on and yet I'm still feeling like they want me to, right? I'm getting drawn into their soul. Like their soul's saying a different story than what they're saying. That would influence you, right? To make decisions for your life based on that truth or knowing what you want. I.e., if you would want to ultimately be with this person and to manifest that relationship, you are now aware that if that's a truth on a soul level, then maybe it's up to you to manifest that, right? Versus, trying to move on or be with other people. You know what I mean? So it's a gray area, obviously, with all this stuff, because I'm also a personal advocate of not making decisions based on someone else of where someone else is at. I'm a huge advocate of making your own decisions based on what you desire and what you want, regardless of where another person is at or what their decision is, unless it infringes upon their free will. Then it's a no-no. But again, oftentimes we'll get those messages on a soul level. All right, so I hope that answers your question there. And yeah, and then the other thing is thank you for saying that, Felicia. Felicia the Crown Collector. I love that name. That's really cool. That sounds pretty cool. She says, then that person is not for me. If they can't be honest, then I won't waste my time. There you go. So on the other end of the spectrum of that, do you want to be in an actual human relationship with someone who is saying something different than what their soul is saying? No, I wouldn't, at least. I would not want to be with someone who isn't speaking in alignment with what their soul's truth is. You guys feel that? Now, I had to learn this the hard way because the past version of me would have done that and has done that. And the curse and the blessing of that of the feminine really is, but we know that the truth that someone's saying is not what their soul says, and so let us just listen to the soul, right? How many of you guys have done this? Let's act purely based on what someone else's soul is saying, even if they're saying something different, because we know that they don't mean it, or we know that they're going to learn eventually to be in alignment with themselves. But we know the truth, but it's like, no, that's the lesson we have to learn is like, no, you don't want to be with someone who's not speaking the same thing their soul is saying. because it's all jacked up at that point. You know what I mean? But that's the hard part because, again, the feminine can see. So anyways. Yeah, I agree, Cardinal. Their actions will show their integrity. Listen to yourself. I agree. Oh, all right. I think that's going to do it. We're going to end here at 111 concurrent viewers. That's awesome. But very important lesson. I'm so glad we ended with this lesson because that is the lesson, really, of the feminine is like, God bless us. God bless the feminine soul. That power of giving the benefit of the doubt to people who, on a soul level, genuinely desire or have love, but then aren't speaking in alignment with that, like giving them the benefit of the doubt. But it's just not okay anymore, right? It's just not what we're willing to be a part of or worthy of. We know we're more, we're worth more than that. That we want to be with a partner who is, right, and is able to be fully committed to what his or her soul actually says, and to build and put in work based off of that truth. You guys see that? Because chances are, if someone is not speaking the truth that their soul is saying, they're also not willing to put work in, right? They're also not willing, for whatever reason, whether it's laziness or disbelief or disregard, to create what their soul actually wants. Denial. Okay. So you got to remember that. Even if there's love and even if their soul says something different. That's the hard part. All right. All right. This was amazing. Yes, Felicia, I agree. All right, cheers, guys. This was a a feminine reading all the way. Feminine empowerment reading. I think we all needed that today for whatever reason. Speaking as a straight male, channeling for a collective of divine feminine beings or people who resonate with the feminine. God and the universe is so crazy. It just blows my mind sometimes. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you for allowing me to do and be everything that I am. I appreciate every single one of you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for your questions. Okay. I didn't see whoever's birthday it was. Happy birthday. If you're still here and you have that question and you can put it out there, I'm going to actually, you know what we'll do? I'll do it in TikTok right after I end this YouTube. So if you are here, whoever's birthday it was, stick around. But anyways, thank you guys. If you haven't done so already, do me a favor, hit that like button. Helps this channel and video grow so we can find and guide more of our soul tribe. If you want continued weekly updates for your astrology sign and to be part of the True Love Warriors Collective and to receive these types of readings for guidance in your situation, your soul's journey, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell button as well if you want to be notified when new videos come out, which is most likely going to be on is going to be on a weekly basis. Okay. Join us next week as well. So again, we're at 1 p.m. Pacific every single week. I will let us know if it's not going to be on at a specific time or if it happens to be at a different time, but 1 p.m. Pacific every single week, even on Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, by the way, to all you mothers out there. I know actually there's a lot of mothers that are in this collective. So happy Mother's Day. You guys are the true love warriors for sure. So thank you for doing and being everything that you are. And I will see you next week. Okay. If you missed this YouTube video or you want to watch the replay, it should be posted with the chat in the next day or two, but it will be available immediately as just the live replay, okay, after this. All right? All right. Happy Mother's Day. Love and lights. Talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.